Are you ready to unlock the power within? To let go of fear, embrace vulnerability, and step into a life of alignment and fulfillment? Welcome. I'm Valina Stavropoulou, and this is a journey of unbecoming, discovering a version of yourself you never knew existed. What does it mean to unbecome? It's about release, surrender, radical acceptance, and so much more. But what can unbecoming do for you? In each episode, I guide you on a journey to overcome self-doubt, set empowering boundaries, and uncover the untapped potential within you. Through honest storytelling, insightful interviews, and reflections drawn from my own experience of living with MS, you will find inspiration to face life's hurdles, embrace your authentic self, and thrive. Are you ready to cultivate deeper self-love, experience more joy, and live a life guided by purpose? It all starts now. Welcome to the journey of unbecoming, everyone. I'm Valina, your host, and I'm really grateful you're tuning in today. This is the final episode of this series, and I'm sitting here feeling all the feelings. So much gratitude, and yet this awe that we made it here together. And I know in my heart that endings are never really endings. They're beginnings, new beginnings, taking shape. When we began back in episode 1 with the art of unbecoming, I invite you to let go of what you're not, to discover who you were all along. And now, as we come full circle, we realize together that unbecoming isn't just a process we go through once, it's a way of living, and it's timeless. This whole podcast was born from the most unexpected place and from my wish to show up fully for myself and for you. In 2018, the MS diagnosis changed everything. I had to rebuild myself from the ground up, and into the process, I discovered a version of me I never knew existed. And I knew I wanted to take my struggles and my rebuilding and bring them here, to inspire you, to remind you of your own strength, and to light the fire, to keep you going no matter what. We spend so much of life to become better, stronger, wiser, more healed. But what happens when we stop chasing constant growth and instead allow unbecoming into our lives? In this episode today, we'll explore the essence of unbecoming itself, that the deepest freedom lies in resting in who we are already. This is an invitation to step off the treadmill of self-improvement, to let yourself simply be, and to trust that life will continue to unfold exactly as it's meant to. In the beginning, you may have thought unbecoming was about letting go of the world, about losing parts of you. But now perhaps you know that it was always about remembering yourself. That's where we'll begin today, with the dance of becoming and unbecoming, and the invitation to rise like a phoenix. So let me start with this. When I think of unbecoming, the mythical phoenix always comes to mind. For those who don't know, in mythology, the phoenix is a magnificent bird that lives for centuries before it bursts into flames, only to rise again from its own ashes. Across cultures, it's a symbol of renewal, transformation, and resilience. The message is timeless. From destruction comes rebirth, and from endings come new life. So I want to take you somewhere for a moment. Close your eyes if you can, or simply lower your gaze. Take a deep breath in and exhale out. And I'd like you to imagine a phoenix. See its wings stretching wide, like flame dancing all around it, like those vivid orange, red colors, almost alive. What do you feel as you watch it? Is it awe, power, renewal, maybe even a little bit of fear? or that feeling of like being intimidated by something so wild. Just notice what's stirring you when you see it. This bird that dies in fire only to rise again. And take another deep breath in and out. And you can open your eyes. The phoenix is such a powerful symbol for unbecoming. It burns away what no longer serves, what feels heavy or borrowed, what was never truly yours to carry. And when the flames die down, you don't rise into someone different. You rise into the essence that was always there. That's the paradox of the phoenix and of unbecoming. We often believe transformation means becoming someone else. The stronger, the wiser, the more updated version, the more perfect, more of something. But the real freedom of unbecoming, you don't have to shape yourself endlessly. True freedom is found in resting in who you are. Unbecoming is fire, the kind that burns through the labels you've worn, the roles you've carried, the expectations you've tried to meet. It clears illusions, not to destroy you, but to return you to yourself. It helps you change perspective, to see not just what has fallen away, but what remains, and what was always yours to begin with. So I invite you here to think back through your life. When have you been the phoenix? Maybe it was after losing a loved one. Maybe it was when, you left something that no longer fit, like a relationship, a job, a version of you that you've outgrown, or a diagnosis like mine that burned your old life to the ground. What did you do in these ashes? How did you rise? Not in someone perfect or unbroken, but into someone real, more you. Let that memory land. Feel the strength it took, the courage, the knowing that you could begin again. That's your phoenix nature. And just as the phoenix rises through the fire, so too we are guided by 3 flames in the journey of unbecoming: release, surrender, and radical acceptance. Each on its own holds power, but together they form something far greater, the living practice of unbecoming. The first flame is release. And this is the moment we set down what was never ours to carry, all those labels, the old beliefs, what keeps us stuck, the stories we've been telling ourselves, everything that weighs us down. Release is the courage to unclench your fists, to let those ashes fall, and to trust that what remains is enough. Then the second flame is surrender. And this is where we step into the mystery, where we stop demanding certainty. It's choosing to trust the flow of the unknown, to walk forward even when the path is foggy, knowing that somehow life holds us. And surrender is not weakness. It's that deep strength, because it asks us to open our hands to possibilities beyond our control. And the third flame is radical acceptance. And this is the fire of love. It's meeting this moment exactly as it is, without running from it, without wishing it away. Radical acceptance says, here I am. This is my life right now. This is who I am. And even here, I can find peace. Now, here is what makes those 3 flames so powerful. Each flame fuels the other. Think about it for a moment. You cannot truly surrender without releasing. You cannot fully accept without first surrendering. And you cannot release for good unless you've learned to accept. They are inseparable, like the inhale, the pause, the exhale. It's necessary, like it's flowing into the next. It's part of the same very breath of life. And when we live this way, when we release, when we surrender, when we radically accept, we come closer to our own raw truth, to the place inside of us that is unpolished, unmasked, imperfect, and real. Vulnerability stops being something we fear and becomes a doorway home. Once you meet that place, you cannot go back. It changes you. From that place, life itself begins to shift. You become the living example, not because you're trying to be, but simply because you are authentic. You're present, you are at peace with yourself, even in the mess of it all. When you do this, you not only inspire others, but you begin to trust yourself in a way you never have before. You start to believe in your own resilience, your own wisdom, your own capacity to rise. And I want to share the words of Carl Rogers here. He once said, "The curious paradox is that when I accept myself just as I am, then I can change." That's the heart of radical acceptance and truly of all the three flames. Release is the stillness of the winter. Surrender is the dawn, the opening. And radical acceptance is the blooming. Together, they're the awakening. Not the ending, not the final step, but a way of being that you can return to again and again. This is the practice of unbecoming. Living in flow with life, trust the unknown, and be in love with what is, with what you are, with what you have become. Unbecoming was never just an idea to me. It's my life and it's my proof. When I was diagnosed with MS, there came a massive pause. One moment I had plans and dreams, and the next they are gone, or at least it felt like it. Life suddenly became small, and my health became the priority, and I had to learn to treat myself differently. I didn't know where to start. And this is where the three flames of unbecoming became real for me. Release meant letting go of the version of myself I thought would last forever. Surrender meant learning to walk into the unknown without answers. And radical acceptance meant meeting my life exactly as it was without running away from it. Chronic illness strips away comfort and certainty. One day you feel strong enough to conquer the world, and the next day you're grieving everything you have lost. It's unpredictable, it's exhausting, and it forces you to face yourself in a way you cannot avoid. Because I've learned again and again that when you fight back and try to be your old self, you only end up hurting more. And on a more positive note, you also miss the chance to meet the person you are now. There are days like this past Sunday when a migraine attack can leave me completely still, when nothing works and all I can do is wait. There are days I feel hopeless, frustrated, and angry. When I find comfort by shouting into a pillow because it feels too much. And the truth is, on the outside, you'd never know. But anyone living with chronic illness will tell you, it's a fight that tests you every day. So in those moments, I hold on to the words my dear friend Ale once wrote on a card for me that still hangs on my wall. And I'll read it for you. I will breathe. I will think of solutions. I will not let my worry control me. I will not let my stress level break me. I will simply breathe. And it will be fine. Because I do not quit. And I do not quit. And neither do you. I know some of you listening have felt this too, when life pulls the ground out from under you and you don't know how to keep going. I want you to know that I see you. If you felt hopeless, if you felt broken, if you had days where you can barely breathe, I've been there too. And here is the truth. Even in the middle of pain, there is hope. Even in the middle of uncertainty, there is life. The fire doesn't burn, just burn. It also transforms. When you allow yourself to expand through pain, through the discomfort, through the days that feel impossible, that's when you shift. That's when you discover strength you didn't know you had. That's when you realize you're not breaking, but you're breaking open. I have learned to meet my body with compassion instead of frustration. I've learned resilience. I've learned that showing up for myself, even on the hardest day, is the act of courage. And most of all, I've learned that I am not my illness. I am the person who keeps rising again and again. And if I can keep going, so can you. And I want you to take this with you. Give yourself permission to feel it all, to cry, to shout, to laugh, to rest, to rise. Remind yourself daily that you're already whole, that you're complete and that you can do this. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to figure it all out. You just have to keep breathing, keep choosing yourself, and trust that even in the ashes, something new is already beginning to grow. And from those ashes, a question comes. How do we live this every day? Beyond this moment, beyond this series, when you're back in your daily life, how do you live it? It begins with what I call building your system, the foundation that keeps you steady, connected, and alive. And at its core, your system has 3 pillars: the daily practices, boundaries, and supports. By daily practices, I mean the rhythms that keep your body and mind steady. By boundaries, I mean the choices that protect and honor your peace and your energy. No people pleasing, saying no, choosing what matters. And your supports are the people and the treatments that hold you up. For me, this looks like going to acupuncture, doing theta healing, Pilates, breathwork, journaling, walks into nature, rest, so much rest. It also looks like learning to observe my energy, to notice when I'm pulsing too hard before I crash. And yes, crashing is still happening. And it also looks like surrounding myself with friends who inspire me, support me, and lift me higher. Because authenticity has a way of showing itself. Your system won't work exactly like mine, and it shouldn't actually. This isn't about following rules or copying someone else's path. It's about creating something that evolves as you do, which is flexible, it's alive, and it's deeply personal. It serves you and only you. And here's what matters. Your system should honor your pace and keep you grounded in what truly matters. Not performing for others, but actually choosing what makes you feel at home in yourself. Life doesn't come with guarantees. There is no absolute certainty, but what we do have are possibilities. And that's the beauty of being alive. Amidst the discomfort, the chaos, growth still happens. Synchronicities appear, miracles take shape. And it's not suddenly that life becomes super easy, but you've learned to notice them. So build your system. Make it sacred. Let it hold you when life feels a lot to handle. Let it remind you of your strength. Let it remind you of your incredible skills. Let it remind you of your peace. Your daily practices, your boundaries, and your supports. These are your 3 pillars that together, they form the foundation from which you rise. And here we are, the end of this series and the beginning of something new. A beginning I don't yet know, but I'm really, really curious to discover. This journey has shaped me in ways I never imagined. And my hope is that it has touched something in you too. I have loved every moment of creating these episodes, and I hope you've loved walking this journey with me too. Each one was crafted with so much love, so much dedication, so much care. And if you missed any along the way, I invite you to go back and catch up. These are not just episodes, they are life lessons, timeless reminders that you can return to whenever you need them. I want to give a huge thank you to the incredible team at the Transformation Talk Radio, to my family, my partner, my best friends, my therapist, and all my cheerleaders, the ones who keep me going and hold me when I actually fall. If you would like to stay connected with me, you can always find me on my website at mindhierarchy.com. You can see the ways I'm working. If you feel called, I'm here to walk beside you. Through coaching, through hypnotherapy, the rapid transformational therapy. It's the work that has the power to bring you back home to yourself. I will always meet you where you are, and I will always create a safe space for you. You can also find me on my Instagram and catch up with new posts at mindhierarchy.com. So, wherever life takes you, and whatever season you find yourself, I want you to know that everything you've lived, the pain, the mistakes you feel you made, the triumphs, the lessons you've learned, the people you've met, everything has shaped you in who you are today. Honor it all, and not for anyone else. Honor it for yourself. Stay in your gorgeousness and be proud of you. You do not lack anything. Keep reminding yourself that. Your life is not measured by someone else's opinions or accomplishments. You are on a unique path, one crafted by you and only you. One of the greatest lessons that my therapist taught me is this: look ahead, never back. You only look ahead. And it has helped me tremendously. The past shapes you, yeah, but it does not define you. You don't have to become. You already are. So may you rise into the soul you've always been. May you trust the fire. May you always be the phoenix. May you remember you are already whole, you belong, and you matter. You have been listening to the Journey of Unbecoming. I'm Valina, and I want to thank each and every one of you for being here, for listening, for Unbecoming with me. Much love to all of you. Take care of yourselves and always keep unbecoming. I'm Valina Stavropoulou, and you have been listening to the Journey of Unbecoming, discovering a version of yourself you never knew existed. Tune in every first and third Thursday at 9 Pacific on Transformation Talk Radio for a space where you are seen, heard, understood, and deeply supported. Remember, you do not have to find your way back to your heart alone. Each episode invites you to explore what unbecoming means for your mind, body, spirit, and emotions, a transformative process of releasing what no longer serves you. This show is not just about overcoming challenges. It is about celebrating the beauty of letting go and stepping boldly into a life of joy, purpose, and self-confidence. For more information and to connect with me, visit mindhierarchy.com.